We are back with another episode of Full Court Talk podcast. I'm Josh Masoki, joined by
Matos Baranauskas.
and it's officially a streak, 3 straight weeks. I'm gonna wait till a month to call it a weekly podcast, but at least we are back now. We are back. We're definitely back now. And we're gonna continue to keep covering as we lead into the playoffs. But we gotta start. Sound note again. More injuries. Some injury updates and some fresh injuries. So firstly, we'll start with Embiid, who it looked like at the time, because of his playoff disasters over the past few years, everyone was kind of reluctant, especially after he won MVP last year, to crown him. But it kind of just felt like he was having a type of season where no one wanted to give it to him, but you just kind of had to. Like he was clearly the MVP front runner. And then obviously he went out and he reached a point where he was out of contention because it was mathematically impossible for him to play 65 games. But there was a bit of hope that maybe he'd come back in time for the playoffs. Uh, it was a bit confusing, the tweets that were coming around the announcement, because some of the wording was, it was just meniscus injury. They didn't really want to get into the details about it or say if he requires surgery or not. But we did finally get an update from Ramona Shelburne a couple of days back saying that it's unlikely he'll return all this season. So with that being said, and just even if he was to return, just we've seen years and years back now of him coming back with injuries. So yeah, what are your thoughts on firstly just Embiid? We'll start with just the prospect of this season alone and the 76ers moving forward.
Yeah, this season he's been so good, but at the same time, he broke all those records about like 30-point games, like consecutive 30-point games. But at the same time, he missed like 10 games in between those games as well. So it's like kind of if you, I don't know what you want to say, but yeah, he's been very good this season. Probably if he continued at that pace, he would have been and probably MVP. Makes sense. But now, like he's injured, and it looks like he'll be injured until playoffs, which is bad sign for the Sixers. So I don't know. It would be interesting. But yeah, Embiid is a huge part of the Sixers, obviously. But without him, they might struggle. And yeah, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it
It's
feels
about
bad for him now. At this point, it feels bad. Like I'm Celtics fan, but it feels bad at this point because he's been through so many injuries, and you won't say, yeah, like he never reached second round, even if he was healthy. Yeah, never went past second round when he was healthy. But like recently, injury stopped him to do that. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, it's twofold. Like obviously when he coming into the league originally, uh I think we've said this already, but his draft stock was hurt. He was looking like potentially the number one prospect, and then he had the injury that kept him out for the first 3 years. So just for him to even get to the point where he's realized his potential is that's a win in itself, that he's been able to become the player he is. But obviously, of course, he's gone through a lot of injuries that have probably prematurely stopped a lot of his seasons. And you do have to think, obviously, the future, but just sticking to this current season, it is a bit tough because they already, because of him, you thought, yeah, they might make a little bit of noise, but really with the roster that he has, it didn't. No one really saw them as a contender anyway. So it's kind of like, what has he really got to fight back for in a way? Like rush back and then you don't know what you're doing for the rest of his career, because I don't see him as being a 15 to 20-year career player with the
No
issues he's
chance.
got. So you can't, and he's already, I mean, he's 30 now, isn't he? Or he's pushing, he's about to be.
I'm pretty sure he's close to 30.
Yeah, so the window you have with him as an elite, as a superstar player, MVP production is not as big as his kind of how short his career has been, which suggests,
Yeah,
because
he's
obviously,
turning 30 in 2 days.
yeah. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday then. But yeah, so you don't actually have that much time. And so as much as you don't want to just waste the season of his of MVP production, you also don't want to rush him back and shorten that window even more. So yeah, it's a tough decision you've got to make as the franchise. Do you bring it back? And as a player, I'm sure he doesn't care about all that. He just wants to come back and play. So that is another thing as well. Do you want to keep him happy? And are you going to be able to save him from himself from wanting to rush back? Because I'm sure he's an MVP player, so he has to have an ego to some degree. And I'm sure he doesn't want to. He wants to disprove all the injury stuff, and he a lot of players when they're coming back from injury, if they have a chance, you have all the older players, the Shaqs, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he's soft if he doesn't try to force himself back." So he's probably battling that too, where he doesn't care if he's good to go, he's gonna try play. So
Well,
yeah,
we
it's a
saw
tough.
this season, like when everyone talked about and be like faking injuries and avoiding those team like and he tried
Yeah,
play through it
and
and like
that
send
probably
the
pushed
result.
him. Yeah, that probably pushed him to this injury because the combination of that narrative and the new MVP games limit. So yes, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, especially um because the form he was in, like he was having his best season. He was definitely having his best season. Uh, he didn't have a superstar player next to him, but he had a decent. It felt like he had a team that kind of fit his skill set because
Yeah,
since he came into the league, he came in obviously he had that first season, uh, with the team that was still kind of the trust the process era. And then Ben Simmons, as good as he was early, it was never a natural fit. But it kind of felt like they had something here where, okay, let's go see how the playoffs go. And then in the off season, we can kind of fill out the team a little bit more. So, and now, yeah, it feels like he's always ending the season the same way. And yeah, it's going to be tough to build off. You don't really know how to look towards the future. Do you know how long he has left on his deal?
uh, not long. I know that it's not too long.
Yeah, so the Sixers organization are going to have to be very careful the way they navigate this as well, because they don't want to alienate him and have
Yeah,
him
it's 2 years left.
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Is it his two outright or his player option or?
Uh, player option for 26-27 season.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he
So
does
it's
have like
yeah,
okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know. I think they're yeah. I don't know if you're the Sixers organization and he's ready. Let's say they where are they in the standings right now? Sorry.
yeah, sixth.
Oh, that yeah, they've fallen. They've fallen. So if you do find yourself in a situation where they don't have they don't have home court advantage, and he's ready, say game two or
And
three,
Miami is in eighth, and they 1 game back from Sixers, and Indiana plays same amount. So like, I mean, they can go into play in. You know,
he's
no,
not. He's not coming back for the play-in. That's not
no,
happening. He's not coming back from playing. But I don't know if I bring him back if we don't have home court advantage, which we're not. They're not gonna have. They're not gonna have home court advantage. So it's like it's you almost the Sixers might almost want them to just keep falling down, just see if they just pull a Dallas Mavericks and
yeah,
try to see if they can sneak into the lottery as well. Because at this point, it will almost save them. Will allow them to kind of save Embiid from himself from trying to rush back. Because to me, I think this is a lost season. Unfortunately, this is a lost season for them.
yeah.
Um,
And like next season, they will have some a lot. I think a lot of money to spend as well, so they can build better team around Embiid and everything. But yeah, I think
yeah,
they should prioritize Embiid's health instead of rushing back
definitely.
to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, because the way they if they can make the right deals, I think they can give Embiid his best chance next year if he can just be patient and hold it down because fighting back with a bum knee to I don't know, to get swept by the Celtics in round one. I don't know if that's the best, especially for him mentally, like it being the Celtics as well.
Yeah,
I'll be yeah, that's not the way to go. So yeah, I think yeah, they just need to just let him chill. They did show him that we can with short notice, because remember this is the year that they got rid of yeah, get rid of again. I lose track. They get every year they're like getting rid of someone, but they made trades at the start of this season, so they kind of had to put something together last minute. But now they're gonna have a full summer to kind of build off of early in the year and see what they had there, and really give them a chance next year. So I think that's the way to go.
yeah.
But I guess we can stick with a similar type issue. Yeah, Sengun was also announced as done for the year, which is really sad. He did, they said, avoid serious injury. I think this is probably more of a precaution thing, especially with where the Rockets are in the standings. It doesn't really make too much sense to, not the same as Embiid, but they want to prioritize his future because the Rockets are slowly building a decent young core there. And I think it's very clear now that Sengun is the one to build around. I don't think they're gonna keep trying to build around Jalen Green anymore. Sengun is the one. It is
Yeah.
sad though because he was having a very good season. I'd say probably his breakout year for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
100%. Um, I mean, he was at a point where you never know he could sneak into NBA. Could have. So
I wouldn't say that far because I feel like
there
all
were points in the
NBA
season
they
where it looked maybe that way. Yeah, the center position is pretty deep again now. It is pretty deep.
no, like there's no center, there's a positionless this year.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No chance. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no chance. Yeah, no chance.
And even
Never
then,
mind.
like all NBA, they look at the team standings and everything more.
Oh, for sure. But he's definitely made himself like he's made it clear he's a presence in the league. He's one of the best bigs in the league, and he will be. And he had that breakout game against Wemby, and yeah, you can see. I mean, even with when they play OKC, I'm clear. I know, yeah, he's a threat. Like he goes back and forth with Chet, and yeah, the Rockets have someone there. Yeah, very happy that my Thunder decided to take Oku instead. Yeah,
First
that's
of
nice.
all, it was our pick.
Oh, right.
We traded to you for Al Horford, and then you
Bro,
traded it
yeah.
away.
But yeah, Presti loves his projects. But
Who did you
I
get
can't.
for that trade?
That was either that might have been Poku, either Poku or Trey Man.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah, check. I think that might have been Poku. Nah, was it Poku or Trey Man? I can't remember now. Might have been Trey.
uh, wait. Oh, you just got future round picks.
Yeah, and we
You know,
probably used
yeah, you got like two future first round picks.
yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, to be honest, whatever events in history got us to what we have right now, I'm happy with. I'm
To
over progress. Because
be
I mean,
fair, you
I
got
can't
Chet,
complain.
so
Exactly. Because I feel that way. Yeah. Also with in the bubble when Mike Muscala hit the game winner, and it meant that we missed out on the pick, and then the 76ers used that pick to get Tyrese Maxey. But who knows if we can get Jalen Williams or yeah, if we can get
yeah.
J Double Chet. So yeah, and we got Isaiah Joe for free because Doc dropped him from the 76ers. So I'm cool. I'm cool. But anyway, yeah, Wushengun, yeah, it's unfortunate, but they don't have that much to play for anyway. Yeah, just rest up. Um, I mean, we were getting to the point of the season when they were probably gonna start tanking anyway. So, and we OKC do have their pick, and I think it's like top 10 protected, something like that, or top 4 protected. So yeah, they're just gonna try bottom out. They're gonna try bottom out. I think the way they went into it, they were like, um, the veteran signings they made, they thought, let's go for it with the playoffs, or if it gets to this point, let's just tank. But I do hope we snatch that pick anyway, because that is the one thing I keep seeing. Like we got two lottery picks and we got first seed. Like that would be I talk like home court advantage and two lottery picks. Oh, that'd be beautiful. That'd be
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's too much. I can't lie. That's like way too much for you.
Yeah, two is crazy because the moves that we could make this summer with that oh boy. Yeah. And then moving on to another injury, Kawhi. It was a very strange situation there. I think they've now announced that it was back spasms, but he was playing with the Clippers against the Timberwolves. They were what were they up by like 20, 23, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they yeah, Kawhi goes out early and boy, they just unraveled. They just unraveled. I think it was like an 80-40 run, something like that, for the rest of the game. And of course, with Kawhi, it's tough. I think the Clippers have found themselves back in that. I hope them moving to a new arena can kind of like lift that curse that has been put onto the franchise because they seem to find themselves in this exact same situation. Because now you've got James Harden, he's back to playing like Raymond Felton. Uh Russ, obviously, he's been hurt for the last, I think, month, couple weeks.
Yeah.
Uh Kawhi now, he's hurt now. Paul George is he's in post All-Star break form as he usually is. Like I don't know because they were looking like this was their year maybe, and now they're falling
First
apart.
round exit.
First round would be real rough. Yeah, they kind of
When you look at uh opponents they could have, so like you never know.
yeah. I think
Because they're sitting at
it could
fourth.
be the same. Yeah,
They're sitting at fourth now. It will be Pelicans in the first round, and Pelicans recently been playing very well. So,
yeah, yeah. I
so
think
that
the Pelicans for the season overall. I think there's three teams in the top 10 for offense and defense. It's Boston, OKC, and the Pelicans. So
yeah
yeah, no, they're in great form. But yeah, I think maybe the Celtics, but if not the Celtics, the Clippers probably have the most pressure to make something of this season. I think they have the most desperation for sure.
yeah
The Celtics are just because they've been so dominant, they're expected to win. But the Clippers, they've already, I mean, Paul George is up for extension this summer. They've got a lot of decisions to make. They're kind of stuck with this core moving forward. Everyone on their team, I've just seen, I didn't realize it kind of snuck up on me. Paul George is 33. Uh, Russ is 35. Harden's
yeah.
around that age too. Kawhi, of course. So yeah, there and I can't lie. Um, taking a first round exit into a new arena, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be real rough because now, because the whole allure of going to a Clippers game has probably been that it's still in LA, like it's still at Crypto or Staples, still there, but it's a lot cheaper. But now that you have to survive on your own in your own arena,
Yeah.
kind of like out of the way. Yeah, I don't know if they're I don't know if they want that. And yeah, I don't, to be honest, if they go out in an embarrassing fashion this year, not even embarrassing fashion, if they don't make a run this year, I don't know what you do as a front office.
I feel like they need to hope that Kawhi thing is not serious, so he
Mhm.
could be back for the playoffs like full healthy. Because
Yeah,
we saw last season like just only Kawhi basically healthy. What how they played, like Kawhi and Russ, and how they played in the playoffs. So like
I'll be honest, like obviously Paul George, Harden. I would say that Kawhi and Russ in that order are probably the most important players on the team
yeah
because Kawhi, obviously, I think when he leaves, it's just they unravel. He's just a calming presence. And then with Russ, he brought that new dynamic to the team. He's their leader, and the intensity and pace that he plays with, I don't think they blow that lead if he's on the court. And
Yeah,
they've
100%.
seen that now. They've seen that now. He's not Russ is obviously he's not in his prime anymore. He's not one of the top four players, but he's definitely the second most important because Harden Harden and Paul George can kind of drift through a game, and they're always prone to kind of just go through the motions at certain games. They're always due for those type of games, and I think Kawhi and Russ are the only ones that consistently show up. So yeah, Russ, it seemed because he has a broken hand. I think he's out until at least the start of the playoffs. It's unfortunate because they were
Yeah, it
on
could
a
be
roll.
hard for the Clippers now without
Yeah,
Kawhi. So
they probably needed home court advantage the first round.
100%.
They needed that because and not just home court advantage, but they needed a favorable matchup to start. Because they had a lot of confidence there on the roll. Remember when they first acquired Harden, they looked quite
Well, who
rough.
would be a favorable matchup even if they were fully healthy? Like very favorable because
I don't
in
know.
the West are Jesus.
Yeah, there's not many. There's not many. They there's not many. Yeah, in the West is actually you can't hide. You can't hide in the West.
You just have to just play a game and just yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone because of the youth of the team, everyone just sees the Thunder as food. Apparently, if you're listening to Twitter fan pages at least, but I don't think in terms of the actual matchups, I'm not sure about that. Uh, yeah, there's not many. There's not many. They had to rely on good form. Uh, and yeah, it's not. This is the worst team that could go through this type of situation right now
Yeah.
because their whole thing is they need momentum. They need momentum going in. And they were the team that I guess maybe the Thunder as well, because we are young, but they're a, but them especially, they're a team that I could both see if they were healthy, I could both see them go out in the first round or go to the finals.
Yep. It
Like
wouldn't be surprised.
it's that much of a swing. So yeah, it's I'd hate to see them go out this way. Yeah, it is tough. So hopefully his injury is not too serious, and hopefully he can come back and feel comfortable. But you know how it goes with Kawhi. He's on the conservative side when it comes to coming back. So yeah, we'll see how that situation progresses. Sure. Yeah, but moving on to the Bucks, they've been having great form as of late. Obviously everyone, we us included, clowned them. Since they picked up Doc Rivers, they were like looking very suspect. It's very confusing hire. I'll still die on the hill that it's an L hiring Doc Rivers at this point,
Oh,
2024.
100%.
I think you've seen enough. we he probably got like 10 slider session videos of him coming out, going out in the playoffs in a crazy fashion. But I do have to give him a little bit of grace and know that he came into a very difficult situation, uh, taking on them at that time. I think they were on the road when he joined the team. Uh, so yeah, and they have since All-Star break, they have been running out into good form. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think they can turn it around? Because obviously they are outside of that 40-20 threshold, but just in general, they've had a pretty up and down season. Dame Dame looks washed, man. We're far
They
enough into
yeah,
the season.
Dave doesn't look right. Uh he had a
I
few
saw
good
a
games,
tweet
but
and
like
it's true. Yeah, I saw a tweet and it's true. Like he's kind of looking like how you know when the Celtics got Kemba.
yeah.
Yeah, he's looking like that, man.
Well, but Kemba had like injuries. That's the thing. Whereas they like, is there injury? Well, there's no reports about it, but so yeah, I don't know. To be fair, like yeah, they have a great form, but they lost 3 out of 4 games. So I don't know, but yeah, they definitely playing way better. Especially I feel like Giannis and they yeah, as I said, Dame is like 50-50. One game he'll have like good shooting game, like just great game overall, and the other game he'll like shoot 2 from 15, something like that. So like you never know, but Yeah, I still don't trust Doc Rivers. That's the thing.
No, no.
Like, even if they're
I
a
will
good team,
never
I don't
I
trust Doc
will
Rivers.
never bet on a Doc Rivers led team. I'll never bet on a Doc.
And I feel like big thing is as well, Chris Middleton, like he's been injured so much this season, and when I think everyone knows that he's a big part of that team, so like come playoff time, and they still, uh, no one knows like if they're gonna be third or second because now like there's race for like the fourth seed, and then there's like race for the second between Milwaukee and Cleveland. So like it could change any day. So and in the East, I feel like there's bigger risk with matchups. Not not like bigger risk, but like you literally can hit or miss on the matchups.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the West, like there's like everyone similar. So yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, Doc Rivers. Like I don't think anyone has confidence in Doc Rivers, especially when he kind of likes to blame his players after they lose games instead of.
Oh yeah, he throws everyone under the bus. He
Well, I
always
think
that's his
that's a big
instinct to
issue
throw people
in my
under the
opinion.
bus. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's why you lose the locker room so quickly because you're just quick to throw everyone under the bus. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. And you have to think like as a player, because we're just watching. The players know about the league too. They see all his collapses in the playoffs. They see him throwing players under the bus. Like, how do they buy into it? 'Cause they know this guy. Like, we just seen him go out the same way in the playoffs too. So how do you fully trust in his ability to lead the team as well? I don't know. I really don't.
I feel like at this point they have no choice. They have to trust him, so it's like kind
Yeah,
of it is what it is.
yeah. As a Celtics fan, would you rather face them or the Heat?
Two demons. I don't even know. I don't really care. That's the thing. Like this is like I feel like when we made the finals run, I really didn't care who we play.
No,
But like
I'm just saying, like, what match? I know, like, I'm at that point too. I really don't care. Like, however our season ends, it ends. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm not in a position where I'm scared of a team. But I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, which one would you rather face?
where, when, and what round?
Okay, which one would you rather face in the first round, and which one would you rather face in in the conference finals?
Same thing. So I,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You gotta go through them anyway.
I don't know. Probably I want to say Heat still. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Heat's
Obviously,
logical choice.
Giannis is the best player. Like, you
Yeah,
have to pick.
exactly. But at the
Yeah.
same time, we have Al Horford, who's been very good against Giannis at times. So
And it's just, I hate this for Giannis as well because Doc is just gonna put Giannis in position to fail, and then it's gonna count against Giannis's legacy again.
I
And you
can't
know,
wait for comments after they lose in the first round again, same as last season.
yeah, man, it's just about there's no failures, no failures. It's about having fun. It's about having fun. Yeah, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because this is a worse version of Budenholzer. Like,
Oh,
what do you
100%.
expect? What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? Like, and I can't think of with most coaches, yeah, you can think of like this is their thing that they specialize in that. Okay, they might have their faults, but I know I'm getting this. I don't know what that is for Doc. I'll be so honest. I really don't. Now Budenholzer, you were like, but like you can count on the like the offense or the defense. Like uh Frank Vogel, you can count that he's gonna have a great defense, even though he has faults. What is Doc's?
No idea.
2008.
Literally no idea. At this
2008.
at this point of his career, I have no idea what's his.
It's 2008.
Yeah, that championship.
Is literally it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just I can kind of you can't trick me. You can't trick me. It's a Doc Rivers led team. We've seen Doc Rivers led teams do bits in the regular season.
Always.
So Yeah, like you can't trick me. I'm too familiar with the game.
We
We
saw
got the
what
script.
happened last season with Doc Rivers led team in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They were
we got the script.
3-2 up. They were literally winning, and then Tatum happened, and they lost the series. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure about it.
yeah. It- That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. Does Giannis sign that extension if they hire him first? I don't know.
He probably does.
Yeah.
I
The
feel like
day,
he at this point here, like Milwaukee's his home, so I
nah,
feel like
for
it'd
sure.
be hard.
But it
Like,
does. It is sad though because I feel like we're not gonna. I mean, when you look at Giannis, you don't think one ring.
oh yeah, 100%.
You
Yeah,
don't think one ring. So it's unfortunate, man. It is unfortunate. But at least he does have a ring. But yeah. And then with Dame, like how long he waited it out, and then he's basically used up all his prime, and he's playing with Doc now. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's rough, man. Moving on to the Nuggets. Opposite situation here from the Bucks. They've just been they haven't been first for most of the season. With OKC and Minnesota battling it out, but they have just captured the first spot. But I think we all kind of knew that like the chip is the at least the West is going through the Nuggets, regardless of where they seed. Uh, but we saw that with them canceling the White House visit and that they'd made it clear they've made it clear that they want that first spot. Um, but to me, it's like I knew they're the best team. At the end of the day, we know that they're defending champs, and we've seen when they want to turn it on. Like, yeah, there's nothing you're gonna do. There's nothing you're gonna do. Uh, so for me, it's like okay, they're first, cool. Like it's the Nuggets, man. It's the Nuggets. I feel like we all kind of can already see Nuggets Celtics in the finals. As an OKC fan, I want to be excited and everything. I know it's probably not our time yet. With the Timberwolves losing Cap, that that's tough. Uh, but I think the Nuggets are poised wherever they finish 1 through 4. They're going to be the one that we like. Any team in the West has to go through them at the end of the day. Um, but not to discount their form as of recent. Yeah, they're killing it right now. Um, but no, I'm not trying to put down. But it's just whether they're 1, 2, 3, 4, I kind of know they're the best team. They're the best team in the West at least. So yeah, but what are your thoughts on them capturing first seed?
well, I think it was obvious that this is gonna happen because, as you said, like they canceled their White House visit and everything, and now they have fifth easiest schedules like remaining. So I
Yeah,
feel like, yeah,
it
it
was
was bound
always
to
if
happen.
they want it, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. If they wanted, they're gonna get it. And I feel like um, they're getting lucky with injuries as well. And I feel like not a lot of their main players missed like a lot of time out injured. Yeah, like there obviously there's times where like few players miss few games, but like nothing too serious. So they
Mhm.
got lucky with that by like if you want to win, you need luck as well. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, I think like
that's been the case for most teams in the West that have touched the first seed have
yeah,
had good injury luck. OKC had been pretty good for most of the season until recently. We lost J Dub and like his presence was definitely missed. And of course the Timberwolves were until they lost Cat recently. So I mean that's probably going to be what the difference is for the rest of the
yeah,
season. Who can stay the healthiest going into the playoffs? Um, but with how much the West is changing, it kind of doesn't in terms of matchups, it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like it doesn't really matter. That's the thing.
but
In the West, it doesn't matter literally.
but the Nuggets do have probably the best home court advantage in the league in terms like literal. Obviously, you
Yeah,
have fan
advantage,
bases.
literally advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've got fan bases and everything. Cool. Like OKC, I love Loud City. They make it they go crazy, but they literally have like a different altitude. So
yeah.
like,
Well, to be
they
fair, when we played the in Denver there was a lot of Celtic fans. So,
Yeah.
someone from the Nuggets said that our fans needs to do better.
Yeah. Oh, I think Mike Malone, was it Mike Malone that said he said, "Oh, the Celtics do a good job of showing up, fans show up, but like you can take that L home with you or something." He said something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so it would serve them well to have home field advantage. I don't think they're not gonna catch the Celtics, but
I don't think so.
no, they're not gonna catch the Celtics, but at least throughout the whole of the Western Conference playoffs, if they can hold on to that one seed, it'll do well for them. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because we have the 6 game behind.
yeah, they're not catching them,
Yeah,
not catching them. Of course, this does have implications for the MVP award because at this point, yeah, it's at this point it's Jokic, Shea, and Giannis in that race. And to be honest, with Shea, I think me being biased, I think he has a pretty great case, but I think one of the biggest thing that would strengthen his case was finishing above the Nuggets.
yeah,
So
100%. If Thunder finish against, I think
they
yeah,
got
then
no
Shea would.
chance. Got no chance. I think it's a bit unfair just because, but that is the reality. Like, no one expected the OKC to be this good, but at the same time, the stats that Jokic is putting up, like, yeah, every time I
Yep.
wake up, I'm like, what? Like, he, I don't know how many 15, 15, and 15 games he has. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, uh,
He's
yeah,
averaging 26, 12, and 9. Yep.
yeah, because as much as people bring up Luca, like, he's doing that, but on a much worse team. If Jokic has first seed as well, yeah, it's raps. It's raps. He's three
Not
time.
gonna lie, I feel like if we switch places, maps would be much higher. Then, like if we put
Oh,
Jokic
right.
in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
map,
yeah, yeah.
maps would be much higher than they are now.
Definitely. Because I a Jokic triple double is much, much, much different from a Luka triple double.
Yeah.
In the fact that Jokic is not, I'm sure his usage. I just don't think he's as ball dominant. I think the system around him, I think it's a lot more of him just giving up the ball. And he just doesn't care about his stats anyway. I think I just
Yeah.
saw, playing the Heat and he left the ball at the end and then Bam picked it up and it gave him a turnover, but he just yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He clearly doesn't care about those things. So obviously it's a lot of respect, but yeah, it's just annoying because I felt like Shea has many years ahead of him, but I felt like Shea had a chance this year. But yeah, with if they're gonna be first as well, nah, it's not happening. Especially because they wanna rectify the fact that he should have won it last year. So
Yep.
yeah, it's
Well,
probably gonna go.
Shea's averaging 31, 5, and 6, so
Yeah,
very good season as well. But yeah, as you said, I feel
stops as
like
well,
in
like
this
defensively as well, defensively as
and
well.
I feel like decisive moment is Nuggets being number 1 seed.
Mhm.
I feel if at least if it was like hey, it is very close, so you never know what's gonna happen. You might still get.
No,
I feel like
yeah,
who gets number
I
one
don't think it's
seed?
set in stone. I think OKC can still finish first for sure. I think we still
Yeah, I
can.
feel like
We
who
still
gets
have,
the.
yeah, OKC still have like they're not that far behind in terms of strength of schedule either. I don't think our strength of schedule is that bad. Is it?
Uh, uh,
A couple of weeks ago it said we were seventh, but
you are
maybe
ninth. You're ninth, most difficult. Ninth
really.
most difficult. Yep.
Oh damn, he must have just had a really easy February or March where yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess with
I feel
I
like
think
a lot
Jokic's
of
gonna be
people will still vote for Jokic because there's narrative that Shea's step padding and everything. Did you see the about the
yeah. No, you know what? Yeah, as a fan, I really wish he didn't do that because I don't think he's stat pads at all. Because think about it, like
I
the
feel like
fact that he,
Lucas step pads more than Shea 100%.
bro, Shea does not. Shea, I don't know what. Okay, I think the thing is everyone was saying the passing KD for most 30
Yeah.
point game. It wasn't that because there's 20 games left. He was gonna do it anyway. I think it was dropping 30 against every team because he hadn't done it against the Pacers yet.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, because he has a chance to be Harden's the only other player that's dropped 30 against all 29. So that was like what he was going for, but it sucks because it was so obvious, and now that narrative is going to be pushed, even though like think about it, like he if he was stat padding, why is he's so calm with only scoring like around 30 every night? Like he could
Yeah,
take way more shots and score more than that. So and then obviously the free throw narrative too is like, oh yeah, he's a free throw merchant. But every time they release as I saw one, he averaged, I think he's top three in points if you remove free throws as well. So he's just like, okay, sure. But yeah, I don't pay that too much. I don't think actual voters are gonna. I think it's a much bigger narrative. The fact that I think he has the story in terms of this team is not OKC are not meant to be this good this early
yeah.
at all. Yeah, so um yeah, but with that being said, I think I don't. No one's being robbed. If either two of them win, I don't. There's no robbery in any sense. Like they're just two deserving candidates. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, and then we'll finish with the Lakers. It was a slightly different topic going before last night. Because they had quietly gone on a little bit of a run to where it kind of looked like they were a bit dangerous. But then AD played against another European big. So yeah,
Did you see what Shannon Sharp said?
what do you say?
He said, I don't want to see them in playing. I don't want to see them play a playoff. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see them again." About the Kings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
Yeah, because like,
as much as they talk about as much as they talk about all that talk about European players, but AD, who is regarded as one of the best US prospects in years at the time at least, every time he faces a European big is belt to us, bro. It's belt to us. Like let me pull up. It was a crazy.
the fact that when he was asked about, oh, do you know you 0-9 against the bonus, and he was like, oh yeah, I don't care about 1-1, I care about to the like teams. But like that does mean that your
Yeah,
team
that
is
affects the team.
0-9 when
It's
you
not
play.
like they're
So
saying, yeah, it's not like they're saying, oh, he averages 10 more points than you every
yeah,
matchup. Like they're
yeah,
saying he was like you do realize that means your team is 0-9 against him as well.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I don't think it's
what are you
like
talking
realize
about?
that.
What are
Yeah,
you
I
talking
don't
about?
know.
Yeah, and let me find this. Did I send it to you? Yeah, so
Maybe.
he's now 0-10 against Sabonis, 1-7 against Embiid in the last seven, and then he's lost his last seven against Jokic as well. So yeah, bro, like, and then
Yeah,
to add to that, uh, there's a clear like the Darvin Ham situation is terrible right now. Like he's lost the locker room. I saw the game yesterday when the Kings won their run and he's saying, we gotta get stops and we gotta, we're gonna go on a run. Like he just doesn't he just speak he's just talking, bro. He's just talking. And the article just got released as well, with D'Lo talking about how there was a game, I think it was last season. Well, firstly,
with
D'Lo,
Dennis about Dennis Schroeder.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Like it just looks like he's lost the locker room. Because and then yesterday, LeBron was asked a question. It looked like the report was low-key instigating, but he didn't like directly reference the interview, and he just said, "Do you think like because Darvin Ham was talking about its effort, like effort's the reason," and then D'Lo was saying, "No, it's the game plan." And LeBron was asked, "Do you think it's an effort thing in these games?" And he's like, "No, we got a game plan better. We can't just keep doing the same thing." So I think, yeah, they've Ham has to go. Well, however they finish the season, he's got to go.
yeah. I'm pretty
If he
sure that I
doesn't,
think Dilo was
they've lost the
asked
game.
about some players not playing enough, and Dilo just said not
Yeah,
get
not to
into that, like
Like
just
Rui, it
give.
was Rui. Yeah, it was Rui because Rui had 18 points. Was it in the first half or something?
Yeah,
He was
so that's
going off early, and then he just didn't play the rest of the game. So yeah, Ham's completely like when you really look at this team, and if you just look at each individual player and how much of a better season they're having than last year, they should be a lot better than they are for sure.
yep.
On paper, on paper, they should be much better than they are right now. So uh, yeah, that's another situation where I just don't trust the coaching. So as much as it looked like maybe they were becoming more of a threat, I just don't think so. I don't think so. And also, I'm very much a believer. Obviously, last season a lot of teams had like outlier playoffs to where the Lakers made it to the conference finals, Miami made it to the finals, but for the most part, I just do believe 82 games in, you have shown who you are as a team. And I just don't think that the Warriors or the Lakers are just going to stroll in. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe LeBron and Curry are just that good. But I just don't think they're just going to stroll in and, okay, it's going to wipe out all these teams that have shown consistency throughout the year. I just don't think it works like that, man. I don't think you're just magically a different team in the playoffs. So yeah, with the Lakers, I just don't see it. I don't see what people think they're seeing. Um, nah, man. I don't think I don't
Yeah,
think they're I don't think they're a threat in the West. Maybe they get, I guess, this big
the thing
favorable
is, they probably will get Nuggets in the first round as well. So it's like
yeah, bye. Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
as a sweep again. That's a sweep. That's a sweep.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a quick sweep too. That
Yeah,
matchup, yeah, I don't know. Bron might as well just go to kids. He might Bron might pull out like a he might pull up like a leg cast after, after that elimination game or something. You're gonna I don't know what type of injury he's gonna fake that game. That's gonna be a clean sweep, bro. So yeah, nah, man, nah. And
well, they
I'm
have
not
tenth
sure
easiest schedule remaining, so you never know. They might do something, but I
they
can't
gotta
see
get out
that.
the play-in. They've got to get out the play-in, man. They have to.
But I don't like they won't get out of play, and that's the thing.
Yeah, and they needed the Warriors to beat the Mavs yesterday as well, and they didn't. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're kind of cooked. I'll be honest, they're
it
cooked.
might be Warriors against the Lakers in the play-in. That the thing is, looking at the moment, it's Phoenix, Dallas, Lakers, and Warriors, and only two teams will make it. That's insane.
That is crazy. The West is brutal, man. The West is brutal.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
West is looking rough for the playoffs. Where
It's it's
East,
it's wild though.
where
If
if
you
you
show
go to
someone
see
like
East playing Spaces, Heat, Bulls, Hawks. The difference.
yeah,
It's gonna be
I can
Miami Bulls, whereas Bulls winning and they somehow lose, and then Miami goes to the finals. Same story.
yeah. Yeah, I can already see a bunch of takes at the end, but this playoffs about moving to a getting rid of conferences again. That's gonna come up again for sure.
Yeah, that would be dumb, I think.
It will never happen. It doesn't make any sense. They're not robots.
Exactly.
I mean, like,
Even now, looking at Minnesota should be in the East.
yeah, no, for sure. I think and Memphis, I think they get moved. If there's an expansion, I think they get moved east.
100%. Because like in Minnesota, you closest opponents are East Conference teams.
Yeah.
It's like
So like this is not the sport that you can do that with. Like you can't do that. You cannot do that. In an 82 game sport, you can't do that.
2 games in a season, like then even now look at that, like even now it's rough for players.
Yeah.
Imagine if you
If
remove
you're
like
gonna get rid
all
of conferences, you gotta make the season like 50 games or something. and you got to
Oh
play the
yeah,
playoff. You got to make the playoffs like best of three or best of five finals or something. Like
now
you
best of
cannot.
five like first round minimum.
Yeah, but it's like 7 games. Imagine, because imagine if you just had it just somehow it was literally East versus West
Imagine
every
if
round.
it's like Portland against Heat in the first round, 7 games. It's like literally largest distance.
Yeah, that would be nasty, man. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that, man. You cannot do that.
You play every other night. Nah, no chance.
Toronto versus like the Spurs or something. Like,
Yeah, it makes no sense.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, in my opinion, Lakers they're cooked. Like, bye bye.
We
Uh,
die. I feel like similar to the Bucks, but Bucks it's obviously in better situation. Like you just need to get rid of the coach. I feel like
yeah,
with the Doc Rivers, we just don't trust Doc Rivers, and we see what's happening again with the Darvin Ham. Like he's being terrible. So
you can't overcome coaching. There's too much good coaching. There's when you think of the teams that you have to beat, they all have very, very good coaches.
yeah,
So it's like, what are you gonna do? You can't afford to have a bad coach in 2024. You're not just gonna have there's no super team that is just so much better than everyone that the coaching doesn't matter in the league right now. That's not the case. You've got very well coached teams, and that's an underrated thing that people are not realizing with teams like OKC and the Timberwolves is that it's not just by chance like all these players are getting hot. A lot of these teams have great defenses, which is a sign of a well coached team. So yeah, it's just not happening, man. It's not happening. LeBron is not that player anymore. He's in year 21. Like he's a
yeah,
great player,
yeah.
but he needs good coaching. And then that's another thing. Do you think where do you think that leaves say the Lakers get swept by the Nuggets or they lose in the play-in even, where do you think that leaves LeBron, who's now, he can leave. He can leave. So where do you think that but do you think he does? Because I feel like he just retires in LA, to be honest. I don't think he's at a point in his career where he cares that much because he seems pretty rooted in LA.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he's trying to move his family again. When I say he's
Yeah,
rooted in
I
LA, I
doubt
say
it.
LA, not and he's likely gonna get a huge extension as well. Like he,
Oh yeah,
bro,
100, it'll be a huge extension. Yeah, 100%.
be like 2 year, 120, 140, something like that, something crazy like that. So yeah, I just
Um,
don't know if LeBron's at the stage of his career where he's trying to like uproot everything again and go and try to rebuild something somewhere else.
he's on win now. So
No, no, not so much rebuild, but you know how it goes with LeBron. He gets to the first year and then kind of gets rid of that core and builds it around
yeah,
himself
yeah,
again.
he needs to go to the team that he literally can win straight away first year, and he doesn't need to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I just don't think that team is out there. So he might have to just stay. But I
Well,
think
there's
it,
probably teams that he could go and win, but the thing is, I don't think the team needs him to
yeah,
win.
they don't need him and they're not gonna get rid of their core for like 1 or 2 years of LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all the good teams right now are kind of built for the next 5 years or so. So there's no reason to like
He can go
upset
to
that.
Spurs if he wants.
Wow.
Then be LeBron on the same team.
If he went to the Spurs, they would have 82 national TV games, bro.
100%. Then be LeBron at 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, the Lakers, bro, Lakers fans,
It is
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
It's over, bro. It's over. It's over. So just sit back and watch the Celtics get number 19. Watch them pass
18.
you again. 18. Watch them get number 18.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's all we got time for today. We'll continue to see how this stuff progresses. If if I've just like gone on a cold take run the last 5 minutes, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we fast
Yep.
forward and the Lakers sweep OKC in the first round, like everyone's saying is gonna happen. But until then, I'm Josh Misoki,
Matas Baranauskas.
and that's a wrap. Yeah.